thankful. She joining with me. Now we getting groovy. Hotter than jacuzzi, so shorty want to slow down. See the mother fellas, like, hey, I try to do it like it ain't the same. Front to back, short side to side, and lean. You better slow your mind. Cause you're so fly, girl. You should come to my crib. Yeah. I go for you. You would be allowed to do it. You should be my girl.
Hey, it's your girl Nay coming to you with another episode of As Told by Nay, the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's talk about it. What up? Oh my God. It's literally been, I think, like 3 weeks since I did a show. August was crazy for me, guys. On top of it being my birth month, y'all know I go ham all month. I was sick, so I was down for the count for a little bit. I had a wedding that took a lot. It just was a lot going on last month. I changed departments at work. Girl, it was just
a lot.
Struggle bus.
Adulting, huh?
Adulting.
Uh-huh.
And we definitely gonna get into that tonight. So I'm back. Hey, y'all. I know y'all missed me because a lot of y'all was hitting me up. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you guys checking for me. I'm good. I'm here. My birthday was amazing. And that's kind of where tonight's conversation came from. So my birthday was last Sunday.
Period.
I woke up.
Period.
I felt good.
Period.
So I swing my legs over the side of the bed and I stand up. My ankles start popping. My knees start popping. My back start popping. Everything was sounding like, have you ever ate Pop Rocks?
Yeah. Oh no.
Whole body sounded like some Pop Rocks.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
32's
not is this 32? Is this 32? Which is crazy because you know how when you little and you growing up and everybody, you wake up on your birthday and they're like, you feel different? And you like, no. Mm-hmm. I've never felt different on my birthday until 32. I was like, dang, my body like, I don't know if it was the bed. I don't know if it was the bed I was sleeping in or what, but I definitely was like, something different in him. And my cousin, who stayed the night with me that night, she was like, girl, your toes was cracking in your sleep and your... Is this what I have to look forward to?
No.
I don't want it. I don't want none of them problems.
Child, I knew I retired when I couldn't get down and get back up the same.
On the floor?
The mate, I was trying to dance.
Oh.
Remember pop, lock, and drop?
Now, you know, that's one thing I can say. I can still get down.
Listen, I get down.
But
You have to help me up.
But listen, it's not for as long of a time as it was before. You know what I mean? You take a break. Mm-hmm. Your engine light be coming on. I don't know. You just had a birthday not too long ago either.
I did.
Into 32.
I did.
Did you feel different? Do you feel different? Do you feel the same?
I think probably the hardest when I felt different psychologically or physically.
Ooh, whichever.
When I went over into 30, I did psychologically.
Okay.
Like I had a party, it was a good time, but like mentally, I was like, okay, like
this is 32.
Like there's no more excuses to be made. Like this is 30. So like 32 is kind of, I'm grateful to be 32, but like what's next?
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. So before we get too wrapped up in this convo about adulting, let's go ahead and get this convo started on the I mean not the convo, but What am I trying to say?
The party started. I don't know.
This. Let's take a shot to start the show. I got a situation though. Hold on, pause for a second. Let me reach out. It's not. All right, so we start every show off with a toast.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to do. My favorite.
Toast.
And I like to let my guests tell me what we're toasting to. Oh, shit, I'm spilling it. Oh, see? All down the leg. Jesus.
It's all right.
All right. So, look at this. I don't like it. What are we toasting to this evening?
Safe and healthy end of this year, because COVID is still trying to come back and it needs to go.
Not too much.
But a prosperous end of this year, full of love and joy and prosperity and more coins.
Yes, more coin.
More coins.
I'm here for that. I'm here for the health and the prosperity and all that too, but definitely
More coins.
more coins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Coins.
That wasn't bad. Don't do that to me, girl.
Sorry. My bad.
That's one thing I can say too. That bounce back after. So my birthday was like a whole weekend.
It was a whole affair.
I did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday I was dead.
I've always been dead.
Like
I
bounce back.
My bounce back has never bounced,
It's
y'all. Listen, I'd be like, oh, it's party. 10 o'clock. I'm so tired.
Thanks.
So
My body be like, it's bedtime. What are you doing?
Yeah, today's always been about it. I'm not.
What are you doing? It's time to go to bed, girl. It is time to go to bed. All right, so bed. Next part up, let me get my notebook. I'm bad these days. What I like to do is, excuse me, come again, right? So there's a segment. I'm going to ask you 4 random questions. And, just answer as honestly as possible. Okay. It's kind of like a little icebreaker situation type of thing.
Yay!
Nothing too major. So question number 1. Your mama's side of the family is beefing with your daddy's side of the family.
All the time, girl.
Who you standing with if it turns out to an all-out brawl?
My daddy.
Your daddy's side about it?
Yeah. I mean, girl, they need some help.
Who, your daddy?
Yeah. All out brawl?
So you helping because they not going.
They ain't gonna win.
They ain't going.
They ain't gonna win. My dad's side ain't no fighters.
Listen,
my mama's
honey.
side fighters, so.
If my daddy's side and my mama's side got in a fight, I'm staying out of it because both
See?
of them is crazy.
That's it. That should have been that's my answer, guys. I'm out of it.
I'm out of it just
No
because.
fights.
But I feel you though, because I feel like if one was like not capable, I would feel almost obligated to help
I'm not
because.
gonna be throwing hands, but I'm gonna try to like block. and try
Okay,
to-
you breaking it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't want nobody to get tore down.
That is hilarious. Okay. Question number 2.
Girl, I feel like it's gonna be crazy.
So disclaimer, these questions come from my listeners and I
Okay.
just kind of randomly picked them.
Okay.
These little crates that they got.
Like the crate challenge?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So somebody posed this because I saw this question on Facebook. So thank you for stealing and stuff. But walk across the crates or marry your first love?
Marry my first love.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. He cute. Cute.
Shout out to the first love. That's what's up. That was a quick answer too.
You know who you is because you told me you was going to be watching today. Hey, first
oh my
love.
Gosh, you silly. Okay. And then what was that? 2 questions. So question number 3.
I ain't bust my head wide open to the white meat. Don't be crazy.
Girl, them people was really
They're
crazy.
dying. They're
Yeah,
dying.
I saw something the other day with somebody that had died. Okay, so what's the craziest self-realization you've discovered in adulthood?
This shit for birds.
Mm.
Like all of it. I didn't have to be here. Why am I here? Like, why am I here?
Being an adult is definitely one of those things.
It's a scam. All of y'all, scam.
Definitely one of those things. And question number 4. What is your perfect threesome combination? Like if you was about that life and you said, I'm about to do a threesome. Who are the 2 guys that you're choosing?
2 guys?
Or is it a girl? And
Oh, hell no.
I'm sick of her already.
No offense to y'all. So I get 2 peens at once.
2 beans at once. That's a threesome, right?
Yeah.
Threesome 1, 2, 3.
We want all 2 of them go at the same time. Sorry.
I mean, it's your fantasy situation. So wherever you want them to be at, watch porn. Disclaimer: we have adult conversation real quick, but like when people are doing threesomes on, one here, or
a lot going on, girl.
Be a lot.
Oh, that's not my MO, but I don't fucking know. I don't know who I would want. I mean, there's not really any like celebrities that I'm like,
ooh,
yeah, yeah. Like back in the day when we was kids, who did I like? Omarion and who else?
Omarion.
That's it. I just loved him.
Omarion. That's it.
I love Omarion.
That's it. That's all.
That was it. That was they.
So no threesome. Nobody.
No.
That's what's up.
You? Oh.
I don't know. See, I'm not
really into celebrity. I'm not into celebrity crushes.
I'm not.
Anymore.
I don't have a celebrity crush anymore. I used to, and then I found out some stuff about that person. It's just as an adult, it's more so about the person. It's not just like that fantasy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like because really, as an adult, you can get to your celebrity crush if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So the fact that if they're not a good person, then it's like that's a dub.
Who's the person?
It's a little. Not gonna do that on the live because I don't know nobody to cancel me before I even get popping for real. So okay, yeah, I ain't got no. I don't know. That's a lot going on. I be barely trying to keep up with one person. I can't do 2.
Like I see, like on porn when they be having like the sex parties, and I have a friend that like puts them on like sex parties.
Interessante.
Yeah, and it's just like all out. There's anything goes, and I'm just like, I've been one accidentally. I didn't know where I was at, and then it just started, and I hid in the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want nobody to get me. So yeah.
Okay. So very good, very good. Well, those are the excuse me come again questions. Thanks for participating. And we're gonna jump right into the conversation because I'm gonna give you a chance to introduce yourself, but I mean, long and short, this is my longtime friend. Like we've grown up together. So the conversation that we're having tonight, we've definitely had on multiple occasions. So this is really like just some little chit chat, us sitting here kind of going over the things that we've been going over for a minute now. If I had to give tonight's conversation a title, I would call it Grown-Ups because we grown. We are grown-ups.
We are. We're like right around the corner of 40. I know, bro. I'm just like
every time somebody asks me, "Oh, your birthday just passed. How old did you turn?" I have to take a deep breath before I respond. Mm-hmm. Like, I am.
I actually like feel some type of way when I get ID. You know what I'm saying? Like when people when I get a drink
I'm grown for real.
Like, can I have your ID? I'm like, yes, you can. I'd be excited about it, and I'm like, man, I'm old. I'm excited about showing my damn ID.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Oh, somebody said yes, it is different at 32, and the alcohol definitely hit different.
Yeah.
At 32, can't even lie.
Mhm.
All right, so I mean, straight out the gate.
You want me to introduce myself?
Yes.
Okay.
Who are you?
Who am I? All right,
Who
so
am I?
I'm Sierra. Call me C, but I am now. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a vegan cleaning company, but I'm also
You're gonna have to speak up. The people can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a vegan cleaning company that's doing really, really well. And I'm also, my day job is I'm a solutions engineer for a healthcare technology company. So very, very techy. What else? Have a few degrees,
Yes, ma'am.
all about education. I got a few degrees and what else? What else about me? Significance. I don't know. What do they want to know? Anything?
No, I mean that's good. I just be telling people to tell people who they is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, just
you know, they know me. They see me every week. I be on here just running my mouth about life. But you know, when I have my guests on, y'all don't be knowing these people sometimes. So just be trying to give y'all a chance to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So yes, all of those fabulous things.
Yeah, I'm pretty behind the scenes, huh? Even as an entrepreneur, I do a lot more business focused than like putting myself out there. I'm more quiet. But yeah, I think I'm pretty demure most of the time.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. So let's jump right into it. Talking about being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Millennials.
Mm-hmm.
That is what our generation is deemed. The millennial generation. And it's so funny because I'll have this conversation with some of my friends and they'll be like, don't call me no millennial. I'd rather more. You're a millennial. So I'm going to break it down. A millennial, the definition of a millennial is a person reaching young adulthood in the early 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
So that's us. That's us. That's me. That's all my friends. All of that. And it says the years, to break it down even a little bit further, if you were born in between 1981 and 1994, you are a millennial.
Okay.
So that is from 25 to about 40 years old. You're a millennial. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so funny because whenever I do anything or say something, my mom or my aunt will be like, y'all millennials. Like they blame everything on the fact of my generation. And I think that that's so funny. How do you feel about that whole millennial, Gen Z, baby boomer? Like it's like all these different names. Like, do you feel like you fit into the mold that is deemed the millennials?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I think our generation it's the same thing. Like when we see kids younger than us, we say kids, right? It'd be like, oh, they doing the TikTok challenge, or it's like all these different things that they're into is so technology focused as well, which is great. But we're also seeing the disadvantages of that with our younger people, right? So look, I sound old as hell when I say younger people, but I'm cool with like being a millennial. Like we are very entrepreneurship focused. A lot of us, I think we truly understand hard work, but we also are huge advocates of working smarter, not harder. So whether it's technology research, whatever we're doing, we try to find a way to get it done. You know, like we ain't here to play no games. We're not here to like finesse it. Like, listen, we try to get this shit done and move forward. So I don't think when somebody says, oh, you're a millennial, like I don't feel no type of way
I feel like
about it.
The millennial generation is actually like we got a pretty good head up in this whole thing called life. You know, we got the best of both worlds. We came in with the hard work, playing outside, having to be creative, having to figure out what life looks like. But then we also ushered in the real technology movement. Like we were there when the computers really started to get popping, when everything with the social media stuff started. Like that's our domain. And that was in like teen, moving into early adulthood. So as adults, we're able to rock with the tech. But if all that shit was to shut down today, we still would know how to maneuver without it, because once upon a time we had to.
For sure.
You know?
And that's one thing that I do feel disheartened with our new generation, though. And like,
They don't get it.
when we have kids, like, how often do y'all see kids outside on Christmas? You know,
Facts.
or like outside just playing, like tag, flag football, kickball, tag, duck, duck, ditch. What is it? Knock, knock, ditch.
Not duck, duck, ditch.
I'm
Wait a
sorry,
minute.
knock,
What
knock,
you
ditch.
playing?
I don't know. You know, like hopscotch,
Yeah,
and
jump
jump rope, and all like kickball. Like that's what we did. Jungle gym. They don't do that.
Yeah, they don't be outside. They be
The
outside for
kids-
like 2 minutes.
Kids don't be outside, and it's just like that's something where I'm like, that's where technology has definitely dampened,
Yeah.
you know, the child experience. But I think we were the last generation to really enjoy
For
being
sure. Kids, for
And
sure.
like I remember growing up, like neighbors looked after the kids.
Mhm.
Like, hey, your mama ain't home.
Really
Don't be
was
out
a
here.
village.
It was really a village, and I don't think we had. Nobody can tell nobody kids nothing. Nobody can correct anybody nowadays.
Mhm.
We're hypersensitive.
That's facts.
It's very
Hyper fucking sensitive.
hypersensitive. You can't correct nobody. You're shaming all the time. You mean, you bullying. It's always something.
But
So,
I feel like that is the downfall of our generation as well, because we grew up in that era with the village raising the kids,
Mhm.
and where our parents and grandparents were more respectable to that village.
Yeah.
We are that generation that challenges everything, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that too.
Mhm.
We have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Very inquisitive group of individuals.
Mhm.
So when them parents was saying different things, and we felt like, why they talking to us? Why they saying this? Why they doing that? So now we the one with the kids. Don't talk to my kid like that, because we ain't like it when it happened to us. But I feel like that tradition that we kind of got away from, because our generation is definitely more independent as well. Like our parents all were hard workers.
Yeah.
All of my friends had hard-working parents. I can remember being on the phone with my friends, home by themselves, taking care of them and their siblings while their parents worked. So we really had that independent mindset. And so now as adults, I think that kind of is not the best,
Mhm.
but you know, it's one of those things that it is what it is.
Agreed.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's talk about it. Time flies. Talk about these years blurring together.
Mhm.
When do you feel like life just kind of took off from you and you looked up one day and you like, damn, I'm 32?
When I think about during that time, like today, I always think about my mid-20s. Like
Okay.
when I was like 22, you know, like 22, 23, around that time, I was still in college. I never thought like, oh, how would I be at 32?
You're going to have to talk about baby girl.
Oh, sorry.
I know you have a soft voice in general.
Sorry.
We need you to project.
I mean, when I was younger, like 22, 23, I never thought about 32. You
Right.
know, like I just didn't. So I miss those times.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I like where I am mentally, my stability, my lifestyle at 32, but I love the age of 22. Like, you know, like it's different. It's different for sure.
I want to say for me, when I realized like, oh, damn, time is really going, was after my freshman year of college.
Really?
Yes,
that
that early. Because I think it just hit because freshman year went by so fast.
Yeah.
Like, I had a blast my freshman year of college. Shout out to the Oso Bowl class of 07 from FAMU. But I was there, orientation, and then the next thing I looked up, I was coming home for summer break. And I was like, dang, that went by quick. And it seemed like every year after, it was just gone. And then I was graduating from college, and I was like, oh my God, life is starting now. No more random weekend trips to Atlanta. No more, staying up all night, getting up and going to class, falling asleep. No more study sessions, no more college parties. Like, I graduated and I felt like, okay, now my life is starting and I'm not ready.
Yeah.
you know, and it just, I don't know, like I think back on being in high school and being in middle school. All those memories are so vivid. It seems like it was yesterday. So it's like, damn, time really just like, and here I am at 32, and it's like, where did it go? Do you feel like you truly enjoyed that time before it was gone?
No, I hated my 20s. I don't want to say it that way, but like, you know, like you said, middle school and high school, lovely. Like we had fun, and we thought we had issues, but it wasn't issues. I knew when it was time for me. I went to Virginia. I went to Norfolk State.
Woo-hoo. Shout out to
I graduated. I graduated from high school, and I got a plane ticket, and I left
out of there.
I was gone, so I was on my own off rip, and I knew then when I made that decision to just like go, that it was fit to get real. But I think for me, my focus was so much on like just making it and making something of myself. I did not have the college experience, even though I was on campus. I was like working 3 jobs. I was doing work study. I went to class because I needed to go to class. That's the reason I was there. But really enjoying the experience of college, I didn't have, you know. So it's always, I'm like enjoying life now. Yeah. You know, like I'm enjoying like, okay, I got a little bit of money in the bank. I got a little bit of freedom. I can do whatever I want to do.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm enjoying it a lot more. My stability in my 30s and my peace in my 30s. In my 20s, I was fucking confused. Like I thought I knew like what I wanted and what I was doing, and like I got this. And I remember vividly there was times where I sat back at 25 and been like, this ain't it. like it has to be more than this. And I would be wishing my youth away. And I would say I'm 100% guilty that I wish my youth away for years. Wow. Like, oh, I can't wait till I'm in my 30s. I'll feel stable in life, because it was always so turbulent trying to get through school, trying to make sure you have money in the bank, trying to get where you're trying to go. And you hustling in your 20s. So I always would be like, I can't wait till I'm in my 30s so I can do this. I can't wait. I'm in my 30s. I'll feel more stable. I'll feel this way. But I've realized that you could feel that way at any age. Right. And you could feel just as bad in your 30s as you felt in your 20s. Right. It really don't matter. Like life is just like this. But I wish if I could go back to just say, just deal with today, Sierra. Yeah. Like, you got it. And I think I would have had better days. And I wouldn't have to wait, you know what I'm saying, to my 30s to really experience.
And that's definitely, that's definitely a perspective that a lot of people had. I feel like that stemmed from our upbringing, though. Yeah. Like, depending on how your parents pushed adulthood on you versus, just how your parents pushed adulthood on you. Like, for you, and, no slight to my mama. I love my mama. She's an amazing mother. Shout out to Sharon. Shout out to Sharon. But I do feel like she kind of enabled me and coddled. So, like, my college experience was the complete opposite, where my mother pushed, go to school, enjoy it, get your grades, but have fun. You ain't got to work. I'm going to pay all your bills. I'm going to make sure you got food, have fun. So I was that carefree college student that was just there for the experience, but I didn't learn a lot of life's lessons until I was thrust into the real world.
Me and my first love, we debate this because he's like that. And he's like, when we have children, I don't want my children to worry. I want them to get their education, enjoy the college experience. They have their whole life to be adults. This is an age and a time they will never get back. We need as parents to give them that opportunity to be children and then to be young adults to enjoy their life experience. And then my perspective is like, they need to work. You know what I'm saying? Like high school, they need a part-time job. I'm serious. Like high school, because that's what I did. Yeah. So you've been on the grind. I know. It taught me like how to save, how to spend. I used to move around. I would catch the bus to get where I needed to go. I didn't depend on my family to pick me up, take me up. So I've always moved around. And then in college, I worked as well. So we will always kind of go and like bump heads with this because it's like, well, how do you want your child to be? And I think for me, my fear is if we do all of that for them, they will not be able to stand on their own. God forbid something happened to me or you, our child will be asked out because they're like, my parents did everything for me. I don't know. And if I have a daughter, I don't want her to run to a man to take care of her because she's so fearful to do it on her own. Or my boy run to the streets or something that's, you know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't know. So I think there has to be a balance of, yes, we got you as your parents to take care of you, but also I want them. Work ethic is so important to me. So I'm fearful of if I do everything for my child to give them that experience, they would not value working hard. So
here is the thing though. Shout out to the bestie, my college bestie from Cali. Hey girl. I feel like she had a really good balance of this. So whereas my mom kind of just was like, I got you. Her parents, it comes from the teaching of your parents. Like your kids should be able to, I agree with your first love. Let them be children. Let them get that experience. But in your household is where they learn how to save. In your household is where they learn that responsibility. In your household is where they learn, don't let them be carefree to the point that they're oblivious.
Yeah.
But teach them so that when they get to school, it's like, okay, I started to get a little bit of that because my mom started to give me an allowance. But when I graduated and then I got a job and then I was doing this and doing that towards the later end of college, I felt like I had a late start because my mom was just so set on, I don't want my kids to feel pressured. I don't want them to feel like they're responsible for anything because I brought them here. I'm supposed to make sure they're good type of thing. And so I didn't learn a lot of the stuff until adulthood, So there is where that balance comes in. Whereas my bestie, we would have these conversations and she would talk about how, that was a part of her upbringing was like, this is how you do this is how you do that. But still, she had that freedom to chill and hang out. And she ended up getting a job in college because she wanted to.
Right.
It was just one of those things. But even with that, she got to keep all of her money because her parents was doing for her type of thing, So the responsibility was there because that's how she was raised. But she still was able to enjoy, the whole college experience. So I think there's a little bit of a balance there.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good insight. Y'all will figure it out.
Ain't got no choice but to figure it out. But so them versus us. Let's move right into it. How our parents lived, and then how this generation lives, and like that feeling of we're becoming our parents. Sure. I can not even count how many times I've sat back and said something or thought something. I'd be like, oh my God, that's Sharon. Or like been with her and we'll see something and we'll say the same exact thing to it or respond the exact way. And I'm just like, Jesus, I'm really becoming my mom. But when I look at her and me, I'm like, we so different. Like me as an adult, sometimes I sit back and I just be like, girl, you are an adult for real. And it doesn't even feel like it. So because I'm still so childlike. I'm very goofy. I'm very playful. Like I'm very youthful.
Right.
And the adults that I remember being adults when I was a kid, they didn't act like this.
They were born. They were born, child. They was
very much boring.
Yeah.
Very much. So I mean, like this new generation. And I feel like we all are like that. All of my friends have that very youthfulness about them. None of us act like the parents.
No.
Even the ones that got kids.
Yeah.
So you can agree with that.
I agree. I mean, outside of you and I both looking like our parents.
Girl,
dead just like
dead like.
In conversation, there's things that we respond to just like our parents. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking to people and be like, oh child, I would never. Or something like that. Like we do say certain things. Some vernacular is the same. But I think it is important for us to like keep our youth and like to have fun. Ain't nobody trying to be boring. Like, we trying to still have fun, move and shake. When I think about
definitely moving and shaking.
When I think about my mom, like she used to club a lot. So when I was a little girl, I remember with the Daisy Dukes child, and she thought she was everything. And I'm just like, am I her with the Daisy Dukes? Because I love my Daisy Dukes, bro. So I'm like, oh my God, was she doing this at this age? All right, so be it. Y'all finna see this ass.
Girl, the fact
You know,
that you
but-
calling them Daisy Dukes.
I know. I just call them my hot pants.
Not the hot
Hot pants,
They
child.
just booty shorts.
Yeah, that too. Clappers.
Not clappers.
Clappers. Girl, watch it clap. So, but I think, like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, like, to become our parents. How many times that they get confused and we gotta, like, make sure they're good?
Yeah.
Like, so, like, I don't know how many times I told my mom, that's not a real person. That's a scam. Hang up the phone. You know, so we kind of becoming.
We definitely are becoming our parents. And, you know, and not to even, I'm going to take it there just a little bit because that was a realization that I came to shortly after my birthday. So my uncle passed away in April. And his birthday is the 31st. So, you know, just a couple days after mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, the circle of life,
Yeah.
you know, like we're becoming our parents. But what that means then is now our parents are becoming the grandparents. And then eventually that realization sets in that one day they're not going to be here. And that's a tough, very, very tough realization of adulthood. I feel for me because I just can't imagine a world without, you know, my mom, my aunts, my uncles. And I think like right now as an adult, that's my biggest struggle.
That is the gift of being young when we've never thought about it.
Exactly. That's facts.
And I know recently I just had a conversation with family members, multiple family members that have put me down, like if something happened, like in their insurance plan, their life insurance policy. It was like, Sierra, sit down. I want to talk to you about this. And I feel so uncomfortable, you know, because it's like you're preparing for death. It's the right thing to do as an adult to prepare when it's time for you to go so your family don't have this financial burden. But to sit down and have this conversation when family you grew up with, parents are saying, when I go, this is what I want. I put you down as this and this and this. It's the most uncomfortable thing. And it also has me thinking of like, maybe I need to do that. Maybe, you know, so it forces you to really kind of wake up and be like, oh, this happens. Like, and you could die at any age. You could die at infancy. But I think as you grow, you really realize how many people are not going to make it.
Yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow for sure.
Like I remember having a dream that my dad had died or something like that. I was depressed for a whole week. And mind you, he's alive and well. And I remember waking up from that dream and I had a panic attack right after.
Oh, man.
Because I could not imagine. You know, like, what is life without my dad here?
Yeah.
Girl, let's not change subject.
Yeah, all right. Moving right along.
All right.
No, seriously. No, I feel you on that. Anxiety and panic all associated with that circle of life situation. But it definitely is a harsh reality. I don't know what's going on with it. I just
you want me to sit close to you?
You can sit close to me, girl.
Okay. She don't got the COVID, and I don't either.
Generational curses.
Yeah.
Breaking cycles.
Yeah.
Healing, toxic family habits. Y'all know I'm a therapist, so we definitely have to have a little bit of mental health talk when it comes to this because it's a real thing. I'm big tripping because there was an actual letter to go along with this, and this is why it brought me to this point. So before we continue, let me read this letter real quick. I can't believe I just did that.
You just enjoy my company
Girl.
so much, girl.
Always. You know, we always have a great combo whenever we link up. So here's the letter. Okay. Dear Nay, let's talk about adulting and the fact that all of us are just winging this thing. I can remember growing up and saying, I can't wait to be a grown-up. And now I'm here and I just want to go back to being a kid. Being an adult is hard and I blame my mother for making this look so easy. I always see people making jokes about adulthood being ghetto, but I don't think we're really talking about it in the sense of the trauma that comes along with being an adult and not knowing what the fuck we're doing. Let's get a little real with the conversation and talk about the fears, the stress, the mental breakdowns, and facing the reality that we are taking our parents' places. keep doing your thing, girl, a struggling adult. So this letter came up because, girl, I was going through my letters on my birthday, in my feelings a little bit, and I was like, let's talk about it. Because what the hell is happening
Get
with my
out.
bones right now?
Yo, we in the projects.
It's the most ghetto hood I ever been in.
Ever.
And I heard parenthood is even worse.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. But, you know, just, this is the real of the conversation. Adulthood definitely brings about a sense of having to get real with your mental.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you are embarking on this journey of taking care of self.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents have let you ride, most of them,
Mm-hmm.
and you're figuring life out. But along with that comes the way that you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
Generational curses are real, guys. Like, some of the things that you learn and some of the ways that you do things, like we were just talking about, we, you know, kind of responding and acting, becoming our parents, not necessarily a good thing, because some of those habits need to be thrown in the trash, burned, disintegrated, never to see the light of day again. You know, so with that, generational curses, breaking the cycle. Have you had to break the cycle for anything? Or do you feel like life just kind of...
No.
Has anybody?
I still am. You know, my generational curses come from both sides. And my biological father died when I was 3, so I don't know some of the battles that I'm fighting, and things have manifested that I don't know where did that shit come from.
Right.
But I know a little bit. I know enough on his side of the family. And then on my mom's side, obviously I know. So there's a lot of things, I think, as you grow, and I know for me, get closer to God, they are more so revealed. And I think it's a lifelong journey. It's not something where you break and it's like, okay, never have to worry about that again, because generational curses can skip you and go to your child.
Facts.
So there's things that we have to be really cognizant of. And I think some generational curses we don't want to touch, you know, because they run so deep.
Some of them family secrets. Some of them things y'all just kind of brush up under the rug and act like didn't exist and didn't happen.
I know there's a lot of perversion in my family. There was incest in my family. There was rape in my family. There was abuse. So many different things. Trauma. And
deeply rooted trauma.
And it's a lot, and my family definitely sweeps a lot under the rug. So there was things that I may have never experienced that family members have. And then when you see things manifest, you're like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you can remember as a child that you're like, okay, that's something that I'm definitely want to break? My kids will never have to experience that. My kids will never go through that.
Yeah. There's quite a few of them. But
and you don't have to go into detail if you don't want to. I know that
one that I would, which I think I have, I don't say broken, but it's something that I have definitely changed, is like anger. And you knew when I was like younger, you knew, girl, my temper was,
yes, ma'am.
So
Muhammad Ali daughter.
Yeah, ready to fight real fast. But that wasn't my own. Like, I had no reason to be angry. I took that from how I was raised and what my parents went through and their anger for people I've never even met in family. Right. So I didn't want, number one, how it started to change. I remember I took my baby brother to the fair, and he was a kid, 3, and I was so mean to him. You know, just how I talked to him. And I think we see this a lot in Black households, and now I cringe when like Black moms cuss their kids out. And like, that's how I was raised. So if my brother dropped something, he was running off, get your ass back here. And I spoke to a child like a grown ass man. Yeah. And I would yank him up and get your ass on. And he's 3. And I remember like a stranger came up to me and was like, would you like to be talked to that way?
Mm.
And I was like, and I went off on him because I'm like,
Right.
mind your business, da, 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 da. But I would never forget that because this man checked me on how, and from probably his perspective, that's my child, right?
Right.
So this man, but I remember he checked me and it stayed in the back of my mind, but I was so offended that he checked me and he didn't stay in his place. But he was right.
Right.
Because I shouldn't be talking to a child like a grown, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember as time passed, and then I got into church, something just shifted. And then the way that I would speak to my brother completely changed. And I remember I would pray to God and be like, I hope he never remembers how I used to speak to him, you know?
Yeah.
And I started
That's deep.
speaking to him like lovingly and talking to him and wanting to know how he feels about certain things. And I look at our relationship now. I can talk to Josh. Josh can talk to me. Oh, I don't say his name, child. But my brother can talk to me, and it's not. He knows I'm not just gonna jump down his throat and be like that. Like I'm not. I'm gonna talk to him. And I think if I didn't change that, Josh wouldn't talk to me. Like my brother wouldn't have a relationship with me like that because he will put me in the category of she just like my mama. I can't say nothing to her. So I never wanted to be that type of mom to my kids. If God blessed me with them. I think a lot of us, especially I see it with Black moms, we are so aggressive with our kids.
Oh, yeah.
We slap them, we cuss them out. We love them so deeply, but the way we show it is just not there. So
that's real.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes with being in tune with your spirituality because thank God, you know, I wasn't, you know, I didn't have that in my house growing up. My mom was very
loving.
Gentle.
Yeah. She was firm with y'all, but she was
firm
gentle.
but not aggressive.
You know.
She was definitely gentle, but I did see that a lot with my friends where they parents, I'd be like, oh Lord.
Cuss them
out. Yes. And that's a big one. That's a big one. How do you feel about therapy? Do you feel like
I go down?
Okay. So one thing I can say is I feel that our generation definitely needs to get into the mindset of getting your mental health in order. I feel like our parents try to pray it away, try to work it away. They, you know, oh, what's going on in your house? Stay in your house. I think we need to get rid of those traditions for sure because it's something about being able to, you know, process life with someone else outside looking in, different, fresh perspective. They don't know you. They don't know the people you're talking about. They don't know the situation. There's no personal attachment. It's not the same as talking to your sister or talking to your best friend or talking to your mother. Like being able to really process what is happening in life with another individual is something so powerful behind that. And I think we definitely, what the fuck was that? Did you hear that?
I don't know, but we about to fight.
I'm about to go.
Girl, we got real black on this show real fast, girl.
He was about to finish the sentence and I'm just like,
and we ain't even try to look. We just like, okay. Okay, girl, I'm closest.
I'm gonna push your ass. Oh my God, that's funny. But so I, not just because I'm a therapist, but I definitely advocate for therapy because I'm a therapist that has a therapist. And just kind of going through different things has been so powerful in shaping who I am as an adult.
Yeah, I think I will give it up to the Gen Zs because they really talking about this. They really talk about mental health. We ain't really do it like that.
Facts.
We jumping on board, but it's really them.
Yeah,
that's really like spearheading. Like, no, mental health. So I have to give it up to that generation. It is super important. I don't think nobody in my family that I know of believes in it. I remember having a virtual session, and a family member walked by and I was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm having therapy." I was like, "Did you hurt yourself? Did you fall?" I'm like, "No, mental health." And it was like, "What's wrong with your mental health?" And I was like,
yeah.
And I was trying to explain it to them, and they were so confused. Like, well, why would you do that? Why are you sitting there talking to a stranger? They had no idea. Like, they completely. It was just like a waste of time for them. But it's super important.
Ain't do that thing.
No, they ain't do that thing. They ain't do that thing. They ain't trying to do that thing.
They ain't trying to do that thing.
I just talked to a family member last night about going to therapy, and it ate me up, child. Ate me up. But it's all right. I'm back today.
Girl, I mentioned it to my mom. Just like, do you think you need to do this? You think I need to do this? We just go change this.
I did too. And then I I got it up. But I kept talking. So I did say, like, they did ask the same thing. Like, do you think I need therapy? And I'm like, yes, that's why I'm bringing it up. And yes, you do. You need some therapy. And this is why. But one thing I do know about therapy, I'd rather you go when you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Because forcing
ready.
somebody, you're wasting everybody's time.
You.
So
I'm trying to tell the people, go back out that door.
No, yeah, like you got to be ready. You got to want to put the work in.
Yeah, for sure.
And really be ready for it. Like you gonna have some real bad therapy sessions. You gonna have some really good
things get intense.
There's gonna be some therapy sessions where you're like, I'm cured. I don't need this anymore. Okay. You're gonna fall off for months, get in some trouble, and then come back. It's just the nature of it. It's just what it is. Right. But I think everybody.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, so one thing that always comes up with when we bring up the conversation about millennials is how quick we quit these jobs, honey.
Fast.
And like how many of us are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Like there was definitely an entrepreneurship boom when we came into adulthood. Mm-hmm. Like everybody was like, I want to be my own. Go ahead and go by, sissy. Because that's what we do when we do the show from the comforts of my home. We chilling. So yeah, like when we got to the point where, you know, we were of age, it's like, I'm gonna be my own boss. That come back from that defiant, why you telling me what to do? Like we want to have our own. We feel like we need to. The first thing that came to our minds was, I'm not working no job for 40 years like my mama.
Yeah. Just
to retire and have to depend on. So then it was this whole, I'm gonna have my own, which is a very good mindset to have. Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about that? Because for me, this lady that's really, really my mentor, RP Dr. Jones, she'd be like, girl, you be having a new job every year. And listen, I just felt like if they don't appreciate me, well, I need to be here. And you kind of pick up on a pattern where you get in this space where you start to realize, if I left this job today, they'll be hiring somebody tomorrow. Okay. You know, why I need to go through this for what?
Girl, that was a pep talk I gave to a coworker that quit today. She did, girl. She texted me. She's like, girl, I just want you to be first one to know I'm quitting. All right. You need to fuck these people.
Fuck these people. For real.
Yeah.
But the entrepreneur, because then all my friends are bosses. My girl is definitely an entrepreneur. Did you feel like you just developed that mindset on your own? Like, where did that come from when you decided, okay, I'm finna step out on faith and do my thing?
I've always wanted to be, you know how like when you young and like, oh, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a firefighter. I always said I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want kids when I was younger. I didn't want to be married. I wanted I always seen myself, even as a little girl, and you know I was bossy
as fuck.
Yeah. So like as a little girl, I always see myself like wearing the nicest clothes, jet setting, living life, nicest homes. I've always been that type of person. Mm-hmm. And I always knew that I wanted more than what my parents had, you know? Mm-hmm. So my parents are extremely hard workers, but they've never been able to live a life that they love. Yeah. You know? So I've always been like, I have one life and I want to look back on it and be like, I had a good life. Like, I enjoyed it. So entrepreneurship, I have never put dividends in like a job. I'm grateful for every job that I quit it or I got fired at or that I resided. Okay. But
because it's been both.
Yeah, I got a boot a couple times.
Johnny, go.
Yeah. I mean, at 32, I think I've had 15 jobs. I think. Maybe a little bit more. But I was like bothered on leaving these jobs.
Hello.
Okay. But I also think a big reason why we don't put a lot of faith or we don't put our eggs in one basket with actual standard jobs, we don't trust the government. We don't trust the infrastructure of these companies.
Talk about it.
And we are very disposable. So because we're disposable, we're like, okay, well, I can't trust you. Go take care of my family and myself. I'm going to do whatever I need to do, whether I'm getting degrees, licenses, certificates, whatever I need to do, that if you drop me, you will never have me or keep me down. Yeah. So it's not, I don't feel that it's safe to just put all of your eggs in one basket. But I don't believe everybody should be entrepreneurs.
Facts.
Everybody don't have that makeup. It is extremely hard. It's extremely hard. You need the skill, you need the product or the service, and the personality. It is exceptionally hard to do it and be successful at it. So I don't think it's for everybody. But even with that, if that's not your thing,
it's okay to have a job.
Skill, something where if that job goes under, especially a lot of us experienced with COVID, with jobs getting shaky, like if that didn't show you that nothing is promised, you can't depend on nobody but yourself. And that's my attitude. It's like everybody can flake whatever, but you have you, and how you don't want to let yourself down.
Right.
So go hard in the paint for yourself. Don't expect anybody to do it for you.
And definitely find something. You said something real there. Find something that is going to be there forever. Like, we'll always need nurses and doctors and, anybody, any truck in the freaking health department. We'll always need farmers and people that does produce. We'll always need construction workers building things. We'll always, this is bad, but funeral home directors and morticians, like those people will always be employed.
Girl, I was gonna say drug dealers.
I was gonna say it too,
but do it legally. Open that dispensary. Okay.
I saw my profession go from here to here
for sure
within COVID.
Yeah,
it was like everybody was losing their goddamn minds. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I need a therapist. And then, like you said, Gen Z pushing this whole everything. We saw this influx of like parents and grandparents starting to come to therapy. It's like, my grandson told me I should do this, or my daughter suggested this. But because of the way the world just evolves, like therapists became such high demand. Like, I felt like a boss last year and the year before, and things are still progressing, and it's just it's a beautiful thing. But on the side of that too, I do my thing. So if for whatever reason therapy was to no longer be needed, I feel like I would still be able to stay afloat.
Yeah. You need dividends everywhere you can.
Gotta hang your hands in different pots.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I got from Sharon. Shout out to Sharon, because I will always be like, I could be like my mama when I grow up. She's such a hard worker. She said, nope, you need to be better than me. You need to be able to stand on your own. You need to be able to have your own.
Yeah.
I worked my job. I retired. I got this money, but like you said, government ain't giving that money out like they was. They're not doing what they said they was gonna do. So what you got?
Girl, government is in shambles anyways.
Girl, thing going down.
Yeah.
It's going under.
Yeah.
It's going under.
There's no thing. It's like there's no such thing as a pension. You're not gonna find that. Like, who? No. It's not gonna happen. So you gotta take care of yourself.
Very good, very good. So that hour went by fast.
It did. It's like we just started.
Right. I had a couple more things I want to talk about. We ain't got time tonight, but I'm gonna have to say that for another day. Maybe I'll bring you back another time. Next time you come get say, and we can continue talking a little bit about being in this ghetto hood of adulthood. But just a recap, we talked a little bit about just getting to a space of understanding who you are as an adult. Our generation is very different from our parents. More ways than one, but embracing the fact that we are becoming them. Circle of life, being able to recognize generational curses and things that you want to do differently from your childhood. If you have kids, or if you plan on having kids, you say you and your first love was, have this dialogue with your partners too, because you never know. That's how that is a lot of the issue. When I have couples come in, they can't agree on how to raise their kids because one kid was raised one way and one kid was raised another way, and they grew up to adults and they're like, this what I'm doing, well, this what I'm doing. Well, y'all got the same child. Yeah. So how y'all doing different things?
Yeah, for sure.
Have that dialogue, really talk about it. It's okay to quit your job.
Quit that job.
If you want to quit that job, quit that job.
Quit that job.
Find another job.
If it's stressing you out and it's messing with your mental health, quit that fucking job. Today,
job. Start you a job.
Have a savings first. Don't be quitting and with no money. Have a savings.
Okay. And shout out to the millennials. Like, we millennials, 25 to 40, you're a millennial. Embrace it. It is what it is. But this generation actually has done a lot for, the growth of mankind. So just be a part. We the bomb.
Yeah.
You know, we don't act like our parents, but we are grown-ups. At the end of the day, that's what this conversation was about.
Yeah.
We are grown-ups.
I agree.
Shout out to those people turning and have turned 32 this year. Who the 89 babies, last of the real Mohegans, you know, dying breed. They didn't make them like us no more. That's that. Any last words?
That was good. That was like 2 hours.
But you know, I've been gone, but I'm back. Been gone for a minute now.
I'll do that, but my hair ain't gonna do nothing. It's all crooked.
Catch me right back here next week, same time, for another conversation on As Told by Nay, the podcast. Let's talk about it.